Hello students, today we will be solving Mathematics Syllabus D, Paper 1 from October-November 2019, Variant 2. Calculator is not permitted in this paper. Now let's look into the first question. Evaluate 1 over 8 minus 1 by 4. This is a mixed fraction, so 8 ones are 8 plus 1 9, so it will be 9 over 8 minus 1 over 4. I can either do LCM or I can change this fraction by multiplying both the numerator and denominator by 2, and this will become 2 over 8. So eventually this becomes 9 over 8 minus 2 over 8, which is 7 over 8. Then it says evaluate 5 over 9 divided by 2 over 3. So since there is a fraction which is getting divided, we can multiply with its reciprocal. So it will be 5 over 9 times 3 over 2. So that will be 5 times 1 over 3 times 2. So that is 5 over 6. Question number 2. Write these values in order, starting with the smallest. So these are the numbers, we need to arrange them. So 7 over 200, I'm changing this fraction, but keeping the same value, of course. So 7 over 200, if I multiply both the numerator and the denominator by 5, I'll get 35 over 1000, which is 0.035. 4% is the same as 0.04, which means the same thing as 0.040. 3 over 50, I'm changing that by multiplying both the numerator and denominator by 2, and that becomes 6 over 100, which is 0.06. And this is the same as 0.060. Then I have 0.03, I'm writing it as 0.030, and 1 over 20 means the same as 5 over 100. So 5 over 100 is 0.05, which is the same as 0.050. Now I can clearly see the difference between these numbers, which one is the smallest and which one is the largest. So this one is the least one, and this is the highest one. So first I need to write 0.03, and I must make sure that I'm writing the values which has been provided in the question. So this will be 0.03, then I'll have this one, which is 7 over 200, then I'll have 4%, and then I'll have 1 over 20, and then I will have 3 over 50. Question number 3. From this list of numbers, write down a prime number. So 37 is a prime number. Then I have a square number. This one, students might make silly mistake considering this to be a square number. This is not a square number, of course, because if you square root 36, it will become 6. So this itself is not a square number. 36 is a square number. 6 times 6 is 36, so hence 36 is a square number. Then it says what is an irrational number. So this root over 35 is an irrational number. Question number 4. Solve the equation 6 plus 8x equals 7 minus 2x. If I bring all the x's on the left hand side and the constants on the right hand side, it will be 8x plus 2x equals 7 minus 6, which is 10x equals 1. Therefore, x will be 1 over 10, which is 0.1. Question number 5. Factorize 49 minus 90 squared. In such questions, you will get to see that usually square numbers are provided. So 49 is a square number, 9 is also a square number. So I can write it like this: 7 square minus 3t whole square. And we can apply the formula a square minus b square is equal to a plus b, a minus b. Therefore, 7 square minus 3t whole square can also be written as 7 plus 3t and 7 minus 3t. Then we have 15xy plus 5x minus 6y minus 2. If I take 5x common from both of this, I'll have 3y plus 1 within brackets. If I take minus 2 common from both of these, I'll get 3y plus 1 again within brackets. So the factors are 5x minus 2 and 3y plus 1. Question number 6. A movie lasts for 1 hour 48 minutes and finishes at 10:15 p.m. Find the time it starts. So in such questions, I recommend that you convert it to 24-hour time. So 10:15 p.m., you just need to add 12 hours to it since it's p.m. So it will be 22:15 in 24-hour format. And since this is the finishing time, we need to subtract this time to get the starting time. So 22:15 minus 148. Over here, I'm not doing the subtraction yet because you need to see if you find this number is less than this, then you need to bring 60 minutes to it. This is how I recommend. So in that case, if you bring over 1 hour, which is 60 minutes, and add with the 15, that will become 75. And since you have brought over 1 hour over here, that means this is no longer 22, this will become 21. Now you can subtract. So 75 minus 48 is 27, and 21 minus 1 is 20. So 27 is the starting time. And you can either keep this as your answer or you can write it in the 12-hour format. So 27, if you take away 12 from 20, you will get 8. So that will be 8:27 p.m. Next we have the size of a television screen is given as 95 centimeter, correct to the nearest 5 centimeter. Write down the upper bound of the size of the television screen. So since it's corrected to the nearest 5 centimeter, we first need to figure out what is the value that needs to be added or subtracted depending on the question. So 5 over 2 will give us 2.5. So since they have asked for upper bound, we just have to add 2.5 with 95 to get the upper bound. So that will be 97.5 centimeter. Question number 7. The diagram shows a circle, its center and two chords of equal length. The diagram has one line of symmetry. Draw this line of symmetry. So these lines were provided in the question. So if I draw a line through the center like this, which is basically a diameter over here, then this will form a line of symmetry. In the diagram below, two small triangles are shaded. Shade one more small triangle to give a diagram that has a rotational symmetry of order 3. So if I shade this triangle, then I will have a rotational symmetry of order 3. Let me show you how. So this is the triangle that I have shaded. Now if I rotate the triangle 120 degrees, I'll still have the same image just like the object which was given in the question. Again, if I rotate it 120 degrees, which is like a total of 240 degrees from the original object, then I'll still have a similar pattern. Only this triangle, and this triangle is shaded in all of the 3 shapes. Question number 8. By writing each number correct to one significant figure, estimate the value of this. So if I correct 39.864, I need to look into the second digit. Since this is greater than 5, that means this will become 4. The first digit will change to 4 and it will be 40. And for this number, since I have 9 in the second digit, That means the first digit will change to 9 since 9 is greater than 5. So we have a square root of 9 over here, and in the denominator we have 0.6013. So since we have a 0 over here, that means 6 will remain the way it is, so it will be just 0.6. So 40 times square root 9 can also be written as 40 times 3, and 0.6 can be written as 6 over 10. 40 times 3 is 120, and 6 over 10 is getting divided by 120. So I can also multiply with its reciprocal. So 6 over 10 becomes 10 over 6. And 6 times 20 is 120 times 10. So it will be 20 times 10, which is 200. Question number 9. A map has a scale of 5 centimeter to 2 kilometer. The actual distance between two masts is 14 kilometer. Calculate the distance in centimeter on the map between the two masts. So the scale is given as 5 centimeter representing 2 kilometer, or I can say the same thing as 2 kilometer is identical to 5 centimeter. So 1 kilometer will represent 5 over 2 centimeter. Therefore, 14 kilometer will be identical to 5 over 2 times 14, and 2 sevens are 14, so 5 sevens are 35. So that will be your answer. Next question. On the map, the surface area of a lake is 50 centimeter square. Calculate the surface area in kilometer square of the actual lake. So as it's given in the question that 5 centimeter is identical to 2 kilometer. Now, since we are talking about area, we have to convert the scale into quadratic format. So I am squaring both sides of the equation. So 5 centimeter is identical to 2 kilometers. So if I square both sides, 5 will become 25 centimeters is becoming centimeter square, and this will be 4 kilometers square. So what we need to find out is what is the surface area of the lake, which is 50 centimeters square on the map in actual scenario. So 50 centimeters square will be 4 over 25 times 50, and 25 twos are 50, so 4 twos will be 8 kilometers square. Next it says, write the scale 5 centimeter to 2 kilometer in the form 1:n. So that itself is an indication that there will be no SI units. We have to get rid of them. So since our scale stated that 5 centimeter is identical to 2 kilometer, or it's representing 2 kilometer, so 5 centimeter, I need to convert this kilometer to centimeter. So 5 centimeter is representing 2 times 1000 times 100. So this 1000 is getting multiplied because I'm converting kilometers to meters first. After I'm done converting this to meters, I'm again converting it to centimeter by multiplying with 100, because 100 centimeter is equivalent to 1 meter. So that will give me 5 centimeter is representing 200,000 centimeter. Therefore, 1 centimeter will represent 200,000 over 5, which will be 40,000 centimeter. So since I have centimeter on both sides, I can cancel them, and eventually this will become 1:40,000. Question number 10. Y is inversely proportional to x. When x is 2, y is equals to t. Find an expression for y in terms of t when x is equals to 3. So since y is inversely proportional to x, we can write y is equals to k over x, where k is the constant. And since it's provided that that x will be 2 when y equals to t, I can just substitute this values in this equation. So that will give me t is equals to k over 2. Therefore, k is equals to 2t. Now I can rewrite the equation, and that will be y is equals to 2t over x, because that is the value of k. Now we need to express the value of y when x is equals to 3. So I just need to simply substitute this value of 3 into x, and that will give me y is equals to 2t over 3. Question number 11. Express 4500 times 1000 square in standard form. So 4500 is the same as 4.5 into 1000, or I can say 4.5 into 10 cube. 10 cube is basically 1000. And 1000 square can also be written as 10 cube, which is 1000, within brackets whole squared. Next, what I can do is this will remain as it is, 4.5 times 10 cube, and these two powers will get multiplied because the power is within bracket. So this will become 10 to the power 6. And since we are multiplying and these two numbers are the same, we can add these powers. So that will be 4.5 times 10 to the power 9. And that is your answer in standard form. Next question. Giving your answer in standard form, evaluate the value of this. So what I have done, I'm changing 2.4 to 24. And since I have done that, I took away the decimal from this position to the next. Hence, the negative power increased by 1 and it became negative 9. And this remains the way it is. And the reason behind doing that is so that I can easily divide 24 by 4, and that will give me 6. And since we have 10 to the power minus 3 in the denominator, if I want to bring it to the numerator, I need to subtract it. So that will be 10 to the power minus 9 minus minus 3. So this will become, double negative will give you a positive, which means 3 minus 9 is negative 6. So in standard form, this should be 6.0 times 10 to the power negative 6. Question number 12. A polygon has 12 sides. Calculate the sum of the interior angles of this polygon. So when we are asked to find the sum of the interior angles of this polygon, we can think of this formula, which is n minus 2 times 180. That gives us the total sum of all the angles inside a polygon. Since we have 12 sides, that means this will be 12 minus 2 times 180, which is 10 times 180, and that should be 1800. Question number 13. Simplify 2x square within brackets to the power 0. This should be 1. It doesn't matter whatever it is there inside the bracket, except for 0, of course. The answer will be 1. 3x cube within brackets to the power square. So that means this power will get multiplied with all the powers of the values that's inside. So we have a power of 1 for the value of 3. So 1 times 2 will be 2. So 3 square is 9. And x to the power 3 times 2 will be x to the power 6. Then we have 8 over x cube within brackets to the power minus 1/3. We know that when we have a negative power, we can flip the fraction and make the power positive. So this will become x cube over 8 to the power 1/3, positive 1/3. Now, this power will get multiplied with all the powers inside of the numerator and the denominator. So x cube will remain x cube, and I can write 8 as 2 cube. So when I'm multiplying the power with the powers inside, this 3 and 3 will cancel out and it will just be x to the power 1, which is this. Again, the same thing will happen with the power for 2. So 3 and 3 will cancel out and I will have 2 to the power 1, which is 2. Question number 14. The temperatures in degrees Celsius of 120 people were measured. The results are summarized in the cumulative frequency diagram. Use the diagram to find an estimate of the 20th percentile. So 20th percentile is basically the number of people that is given, which is 120. And we can also see that the graph ends over here, which is 120. So we simply need to find the 20th percentile, and we can find that by multiplying with 20 over 100. So that will be 120 over 100 is 1.2 times 20. So we know that 12 times 2 is 24. So 1.2 times 20 will also be 24. And we need to now look into the graph and see where 24 is on the y-axis, because on the y-axis we have the number of people. So over here, each of the boxes on the y-axis has a value of 2 units. So this is 22, this is 24. So I need to draw a horizontal line and then a vertical line and see where it ends up. It ends up where the temperature says 36.6 degree. So that will be your final answer. Then it says, again, we need to estimate the number of people with a temperature between 36.8 degrees and 37 degrees. So these are the values on the x-axis. So first we need to figure out where it shows. So this is 36.8 and this is 37. Now we need to draw a vertical line first for both of them and see where it meets the y-axis. So here it will meet the curve, and then I need to draw the horizontal line. And as I said before, in the y-axis, the boxes, each individual boxes is represented by 2 units. So this is halfway between 2 and 4. So that means this will be 63. And this line will be at the 100 position. So the number of people with a temperature between 36.8 and 37 will be 100 minus 63. There are 37 people within this temperature range. Question number 15. The time taken by each member of a group of students to solve a problem was recorded. Some of the results are summarized in the table and illustrated in the diagram. Use the histogram to find the value of P. So we need to use this histogram to find the value of P, and we can see this is a frequency density graph, and that is because the class width is not equal. It is unequal class width. We have an unequal class width in the table values. So in order to find P will be the frequency for the class width between 4 to 6. So this is the class width 4 to 6. And you must know that frequency is the area of the bar when you have a frequency density histogram. So the area of the bar is, we have a width of 2 units and a height of 8 units. So that should be 2 times 8. So the frequency, which is represented by P, is 16. That is the frequency. Then it says complete the histogram. So since again, as I said, that it is frequency density on the y-axis, so these red bars were not provided in the question, and this is what they have asked you to draw. So for the first class width, which is between 1 to 2, the gap is just 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. So frequency density is frequency over class width. So frequency over class width is 6 divided by 1, which is 6. So the height of the bar will be 6 and the width is between 1 to 2. Then for the last bar, again the frequency density is frequency over class width, and now the class width is 8 minus 6, which is 2. So 4 divided by 2 will be 2. Hence the height of the bar is 2 and the width of the bar is between 6 to 8. Question number 16. In the diagram, AP, BQ and CR are the bisectors of the angles of triangle ABC. The bisectors intersect at O. OBP is 31, OCQ is 22 and OAQ is 37. We need to calculate POC. So in order to find POC, the angle POC, if you can just focus on this part of the triangle, POAQC. So I have extracted this part of the triangle, which is here, and they have already provided us with this angle, which is 22, and the angle OAQ, which is 37. So we know that in order to find POC, we can think of this rule, which is exterior angle equals to the sum of the interior opposite angles of a triangle. And we must make sure that this is a straight line. So therefore, this angle should be the sum of 37 and 22, which will give me 59. In the diagram, shade the region containing the points which are nearer to AB than AC, also nearer to CA than CB. So first, let's look into the first statement, which is nearer to AB than AC. Nearer to AB than AC, and also they have stated in the question that these lines are the bisectors. So this whole region beside this bisector AP is closer to AB, this whole region. Also, then it says nearer to CA than CB. So this line is CA and this is CB, and this is the bisector for both of these lines. So nearer to CA will be this whole region. Therefore, since we have to satisfy both of the statements, the common region that falls for both of them will be this region which has been shaded. Question number 17. A bag contains 2 white beads and 1 black bead only. 2 beads are taken at random without replacement from the bag. Complete the tree diagram. So this was not provided in the question and we had to draw this. Also, this value was not there. So since the probability to get a black as a first bead is 1/3, that means the other one, which is the white, should be 2/3. And since it says without replacement, that means when we have taken away the first bead, in the denominator we will have only 2 left, and to choose a white after taking away a white will be just 1. So we will have just 1/2 as the probability to get a white bead, and to get a black bead it will be again 1/2. And you should also know that in a branch, the total probability will always add up to be 1. Then for the black bid, since it again says without replacement, of course, so if you take away 1, then you will have 2 in the denominator, and there was only one black bead. So if you take away one black bead, that means you will have no black beads, and there will be 2 white beads remaining. So you can write this probability either as 2 over 2, which is 1, it's the same thing. Then it says write down the probability that 2 black beads are taken. So the probability of getting 2 black beads is 1/3 times 0 over 2. So it is not possible to get 2 black beads, therefore it is 0. Question number 18. The vertices of a triangle are A 7, 0, B -1 and 6, and C -1, -4. Show that AB is equals to BC. So for that, we just need to find the lengths of the segment AB and BC and see if they match. So AB will be root over x2 minus x1, which is 7 minus -1, that gives you a +1 whole square, plus y2 minus y1, which will be 0 minus 6 whole square. That gives you 8 square, which is 64, plus 6 square, which will become 36. So 64 plus 36 will be 100. So square root of 100 is 10. And for BC, again with the help of the same formula, we will get -1 plus 1 whole square plus 6 plus 4 whole square. So this will also give you 100. And BC will be the same as AB, which is 10. Hence, we can say that AB is equal to BC, which is 10. Then it says find the area of a triangle of the triangle ABC. And these are their respective coordinates, which was already provided in the question. So for this, I would suggest you to draw a sketch of the triangle. And when you do the sketch, you will see that this line, this line, the line segment BC is a vertical line because the x coordinate for the point B is -1. Also, the x coordinate for C is also -1. So it should be a vertical line. And we have the point A over here. Now we can use the formula of the triangle, which is half times base times height. So for this triangle, I'm considering the base to be BC and the height is 8 because from the origin we have 7 units to the right and 1 unit to the left. So combinedly we have 8 units as the height of the triangle. So that will be half times 10 times 8, which is 40. Question number 19. C is the point above AB where AC is 5 cm and BC is equal to 7 cm. Using a pair of compasses and ruler only, construct the triangle ABC. Since I have already constructed the diagram, I just wanted to show you what the original question looked like. This was the question. The only line segment that was provided was AB. So it said that AC is 5 cm. So you have to take measurement and the compass must show 5 cm. And then you can draw an arc by placing the compass on the point A and drawing an arc over here, which will be of 5 cm length. Similarly, it says BC is 7 cm. So you need to place the compass over here and draw an arc with radius 7 cm. And where they intersect will be the point C. Then it says D is the point below AB, where BAD is 28 and ABD is 96. Using a protractor and ruler, draw triangle ABD. So this one, you just need to use the protractor and you will get to see where you get the value 96. You need to draw a straight line. So you can start from here, like 0 degree, 1 degree, and up to here, it should be 96. Similarly, from here, you should do your measurement, and that should give you 28. And you draw a straight line here again. Where the lines intersect will be the point D. Question number 20. In the diagram, the points A, B, C, and D lie on the circle, center O. ACB is 69 degrees and DCA is 34 degrees. We need to find angle ABD. So we need to find this angle ABD. So if you look at the point A and D, you will get to see that point B is getting subtended from the points A and D. Similarly, the point C is also getting subtended from the points A and D. So, if we use this rule, then we can solve this question. As you can see in this diagram, it says angle subtended at circumference. The rule would be angle subtended by an arc in the same segment of a circle are equal. So as you can see, this angle or this angle or this angle, they're all getting subtended by the same arc. In that case, these angles will be equal. So, angle ABD and angle ACD are getting subtended by the same arc AD. Therefore, ABD will also be 34 degrees. Then we need to find angle AOD. So AOD is the angle at the center, and this angle is getting subtended by the points A and D. Similarly, the angle at the circumference, which is the point C, is also getting subtended by the points A and D. So we can use this rule, which is angle at the center is twice the angle at the circumference. Therefore, angle AOD will be twice the angle 34, which should be 68. And this is the rule I was talking about. Angle at the center is twice the angle at the circumference. So the angle at the circumference, subtended by the same arc, and the angle at the center, again subtended by the same arc, will be double the angle at the circumference. Then we need to find the angle DAB. So this is the angle that they're talking about, DAB. As you can see, ABCD is a cyclic quadrilateral. That means in a cyclic quadrilateral, opposite angles add up to 180 degree. So since ADB is 69 and ABD is 34, what I need to do, I need to just add them up and take them away from 180, and that will leave me with the value for the angle DAB, which is 77 degrees. Question number 21. The diagram shows points O and C and the vectors P and Q. Given that OA is 2P, mark and label the point A on the diagram. So if this is P, that means OA will be 2P. This is the point where I will have another P from this point to this point. Therefore, the whole thing will be 2P. Then we have, given that OB is equal to P minus 2Q. Mark and label the point B on the diagram. So if positive q is going in this direction, that means negative q will go in this direction. So it will, for just one negative q, it will be 1 to 2 units to get one negative q. And in order to get two negative q, this will be twice. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Over here, I will have minus 2q. And we have a positive p. So it should go in this direction from here to here. Therefore, the B point will lie over here. And that represents P minus 2Q. So as I was saying, this line is the OB, which is P minus 2Q, and this is 2P. Since they had stated us that we just need to mark and label the points only, so all you needed to do was mark the points only. The lines were not required. Express OC in terms of P and Q. So we need to express OC in terms of P and Q. So if you look at the point C, in order to reach here with the help of P and Q, I had to take Q twice. So this length, again the same length, and then I need to come from this point to here, which is parallel to P but in opposite direction. So this is minus P. Therefore, OC will be positive 2Q minus P. Question number 22. Water drips from a tap into a container which stands on a horizontal surface. The container is a cuboid with base 5 cm by 4 cm. The volume of each drop of water is 0.08 centimeter cube. Calculate the change in water level caused by 400 of such drops. So since the volume of one drop is provided, that means the volume of 400 drops should be 400 times 0.08. This can also be written as 4 times 100 times 0.08 can also be written as 8 over 100, and we can now cancel this 100 and this 100 by dividing them. And 4 times 8 will be then 32. So that is the volume for 400 drops. So the change in water level, which means they're talking about the height. We know that water shapes, of course, takes the shape of the container. Water takes the shape of the container. So the volume of the cube will be the volume of the water which is placed inside. If we manage to find the volume from there, we can manage to find the height as well. So we have already found the volume of the water, which is 32, and that is taking the shape of the container, which is a cube. And we know the volume of the cube is length times breadth times height. So we have 5 times 4, which is already given, 5 centimeter by 4 centimeter. So 5 times 4 times the height should be 32, which is the amount of water that is being poured into the container. And always make sure that all the units are same in such questions, or else you might have to convert them into a common unit. So luckily we have the dimensions in centimeters as well, and the volume is also in centimeter cube. So now we can easily find the height. So 5 times 4 is 20. So the height will be 32 over 20. If we simplify this by dividing both the numerator and denominator by 4, I will get 4 times 8 is 32 and 4 times 5 is 20. And 8 over 5 is 1.6, because if I multiply both the numerator and the denominator by 2, I will get 16 over 10, which is 1.6. Question number 23. In the diagram, OB is 12, 6. It's written in the column vector format. Show that the gradient of OB is 1 over 2. So in column vector, this value is represented for x and this is the value for y. So the gradient is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That is the formula. So for this, our y value is 6 for the point B, and for the point O, which is the origin, the y value is 0, and the x value for point B is 12. So 12 minus the x value for the origin O is also 0. So 6 minus 0 over 12 minus 0 will give me just 6 over 12, which is half. So that is what they has asked to show. Part B, AP is parallel to OB and AP has a column vector of P2. Find the value of P. So since AP is parallel to OB, that means both of them has the same gradient. So, and we know that whenever these when we have such values like column vector, we can connect them. If they are parallel, we can connect two vectors if they are parallel by a constant. So I'm taking lambda as a constant. So this is the column vector for OB and this is the column vector for AP. They are getting connected because I can equal them with a constant because they are parallel. So I can say if I multiply lambda and p, this will become lambda p. So this will be 12 is equal to lambda p and 6 is equals to lambda 2. So with the help of this, I can say that lambda is equals to 3. Because for this equation, lambda will be equal to 6 over 2, which is 3. And since I have found the value which connects them, I can now substitute this value of 3 into the value over here. So that will make 3p equals 12. Therefore, p should be 12 over lambda, which is 12 over 3. That will give me the value for p, which is 4. Then it says write down the value of AP over OB. So AP and OB are connected by the equation OB equals to 3AP because in the first part of the question, this was OB, this was AP, and we found the value of lambda, which is 3. So they are connected by the equation OB is equal to 3AP. That means AP by OB will be 1/3. And this is the explanation. OB equals to 3AP can also be written as 3AP equals to OB. So if I bring OB in the denominator, this 3 will go on the other side as a denominator. So that will be 1/3. Next part of the question, it says AQ is perpendicular to OB. So this line is perpendicular to OB. Write down the gradient of AQ. We already found the gradient of OB, which is half. And we know then that when we need to find a gradient of a perpendicular line, so since AQ is perpendicular to the line OB, that means the gradient of AQ should be -1 by the -1 over the gradient of OB. So -1 over half will give me -2. It says that AQ is 3Q. Find the value of Q. So we know the x coordinate of basically this is not the coordinate. They're actually telling us the direction of AQ. So 3Q is the direction. So from this, we just need to find the value of Q. When two vectors are perpendicular to each other, then their dot product will be 0, which is AP is given by 4, 2. And we know the the value for AP is 4 2 because we have already found the value of P over here, which was 4. So AP is 4 2 and AQ is given 3Q. So since AP and AQ is perpendicular to each other, therefore their dot product is 0. So 4 times 3 is 12 plus 2 times Q is 2Q, should also be 0. And solving this equation, I will get Q is equal to -6. Question number 24. Express 3 times the matrix 1 0 minus 1 2 minus 2 times -1 2 1 1. So if I just multiply all the elements inside the matrix with the number 3, I will get this. And if I multiply all the matrices inside, all the elements inside the matrix with the number 2, I will get these. So if I simply subtract, then I will get 5 minus 4 and 4. Then it says find the inverse of half 0 1 1. So in order to do the inverse, we use the formula 1 over AD minus BC, and then we switch the positions of these two elements and we change the sign of these two elements. So 1 over AD is half times 1, which is half, minus BC is 0 times 1 is 0, and 1 has taken this element's position and half has switched position with 1. So this will become 1 and this will become half, and this one will become negative and 0 will remain 0. So 1 over half is 2 and all the elements is inside the matrix remains the same. Then we can simply multiply with the number 2 and then we will get 2 0 minus 2 1. Then it says find the matrix X such that X times 3 2 is equal to 6 minus 3 4 minus 2. So for this, I'm considering X to be A, B. And the reason why I got this is because first you need to look into the row column pattern. This matrix is given by 1 by 2. So we have one row by two column. So there is one row and two column. For this matrix, the dimensions are 2 by 2. There are 2 rows and 2 columns. So in such case, you need to understand, in order to make sure that this 2 matrix gets multiplied, the column number of the first matrix must equal the row number of the second matrix. So that means the column number for the matrix X should be 1, and that is how I got the column number for matrix X. Also, you need to know that the final dimension, which is the result of the matrix, is 2 by 2. And this can be found when you are multiplying two matrices, the column of the second matrix and the row of the first matrix decides the dimension of the resulting matrix. So 2 by 2 is observed by the row of the first matrix and the column of the second matrix. Therefore, I understood that the dimension for the matrix X should be 2 by 1. So now I can simply multiply them. So it will be 3 times A, and this will be 3 times B, and 2 times A and 2 times B, which will be equal to 6 4 minus 3 minus 2. So this element is representing this. So I can say 3a is equal to 6. Similarly, 3b is equal to minus 3. So therefore, a will be 2 and b will be negative 1. Therefore, the matrix X should be 2 minus 1. Question number 25. The diagram is the speed time graph representing part of a train's journey. The train slows down uniformly from a speed of 40 meter per second to a speed of 8 meter per second in a time of 10 seconds. It then accelerates uniformly during the next 50 seconds. Find the deceleration between t equals 0 and t equals 10. So, I can see that this line is going downwards. So it will definitely have a negative gradient. And we know the formula of the gradient is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And that will give me a negative value eventually. So to find the deceleration, I'm just changing the formula to, or you can use the easy method and just see that this is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That is the formula which is required to find the gradient. So 8, I'm considering this to be the y2. So 8 minus 40, which is the y1, over x2 minus x1, which is 10 minus 0. That is the x2 and that is the x1. So that will give me negative 32 over 10, which is negative 3.2. This is negative acceleration, which is deceleration. So since they have mentioned that we need to find the deceleration, I am writing it as positive 3.2 because the deceleration is positive and the acceleration is negative. Then it says, find the distance traveled from t equals to 0 to t equals to 10. So in order to find this, I have to use the area of the trapezium, and area of the trapezium is half times a plus b times the difference between the two parallel sides. So the parallel sides for the trapezium over here are, this line is parallel to this line. So when we add them, it will be 8 plus 40. So 8 plus 40 are the parallel lines, and the difference between the parallel sides is 10 units. So it should be times 10. That will give me 8 plus 40 is 48, and 2 times 5 is 10. So it will be 48 times 5. So 48 times 5 will give me 240 meters, and that is the distance traveled from t equals to 0 to t equals to 10. Then it says between t equals to 10 and t equals to 60, the acceleration is 0.4 meter per square seconds. Calculate the speed when t is equals to 60. So they have already provided us with the acceleration for this region. We just need to find out what will be the value for the velocity when the time is 60. But we do know the velocity when the time was 10. It was 8 meters per second. And we know that the formula for the acceleration in a speed time graph is the gradient, and which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So what we don't know is the velocity at the time when it is 60. So it will be v minus 8 over 60 minus 10, which is equals to the acceleration that is given in the question. So this will be 60 minus 10 is 50. 50 times 0.4 is 20. So v minus 8 should be equal to 20. Therefore, v should be equal to 28. And that will be all for now. I will see you in the next video.